Hello all and welcome back. Please subscribe to our channel, share and like our videos if you find them interesting. Here is a story about a maths teacher sleeping with students for grades who eventually gets one pregnant, and the students set a trap for him. Relax and enjoy the story. It was just another day at Chrisland Secondary School in Lagos, Nigeria. The students were bustling through the hallways, eager to get to their next class. For some, that meant math with Mr. Adamu. Mr. Adamu was a tall, slender man in his late 30s. He had been teaching at Chrisland for over 5 years and was considered one of the better math instructors. However, rumors had been swirling for a while about his unethical behavior with female students. In his classroom, a group of girls always seemed to cluster in the front rows: Kemi, Funmi, Adesua and Nnenna. They were some of the most popular and attractive girls in their class. Whenever Mr. Adamu taught, his eyes would linger on them a bit too long. After class one day, Mr. Adamu asked Kemi to stay behind to discuss her latest test grade. Once they were alone, he propositioned her. "Kemi, you're a very bright young lady," he said in his smooth voice. "But your test scores simply aren't reflecting your true potential. Perhaps if we spent some extra time together outside of class, I could ensure you get the grades you deserve." Kemi was shocked at first, but then remembered the rumors about Mr. Adamu. She played along. "What did you have in mind, sir? Why don't you come over to my flat this evening?" he replied with a sly grin. "We'll go over some practice problems and see if we can get your scores up." Kemi agreed, disgustedly, but she had no intention of actually going to his place. Instead, she immediately went to find her friends Funmi, Adesua and Nnenna to let them know what happened. "That pig," Funmi exclaimed after Kemi revealed Mr. Adamu's proposition. "I knew those rumors were true. We have to do something about this," Adesua declared. "We can't let him keep preying on students like this." The four girls hatched a plan. They would set a trap for Mr. Adamu to expose his misdeeds to the whole school. Nnenna would go to his flat while wearing a hidden camera to catch him in the act of soliciting sexual favors for better grades. That evening, Nnenna got herself dolled up and made her way to the address Mr. Adamu had given to Kemi. Her hidden camera was safely pinned to her blouse. She knocked on his door trying to appear nervous. Mr. Adamu opened the door with a greedy smile. "Ah, Nnenna, come in, come in." He led her inside his modest flat and offered her a drink, which she declined. "So, you wanted to discuss some extra math lessons?" Nnenna asked innocently, following the plan. "Well," Mr. Adamu began slyly, "I had some other activities in mind that might be better at helping you grasp certain concepts." He moved in close and ran his finger along Nnenna's jawline. She fought hard not to recoil from his disgusting touch. "What kind of activities did you have in mind, sir?" she asked, playing along. Mr. Adamu smirked and pulled Nnenna towards him. He began kissing her neck sloppily, his hands roaming across her body. Nnenna squeezed her eyes shut, trying not to vomit. "How about we take this to the bedroom?" he whispered in her ear. "I'll give you a very personal lesson that I know you'll never forget." "Okay, sir," Nnenna replied meekly, as her hidden camera continued recording everything. Mr. Adamu led her to his bedroom and pushed her down onto the bed. As he began undressing, Nnenna shouted out, "I've got everything I need." She leapt off the bed and ran outside, Mr. Adamu stumbling after her in his underwear screaming, "Wait. You need to finish your lesson." Nnenna was long gone by then. She rushed straight to the home of Funmi, where Kemi and Adesua were waiting to view the video evidence. They watched with burning anger and disbelief at the proof of Mr. Adamu's predatory behavior. The next day, the four girls went to the principal's office and showed him the video. Principal Williams was absolutely horrified. He immediately called the school board and had Mr. Adamu suspended indefinitely pending an investigation. Word quickly spread around the school about the reason for Mr. Adamu's sudden absence. More and more students came forward with tales of being solicited by him for sexual favors in exchange for better grades. In the following weeks, even more damning evidence came to light. Mr. Adamu had impregnated a student from the previous year named Amina. She had been too ashamed to report him at first, but now felt emboldened by the actions of Kemi, Funmi, Adesua and Nnenna. Nnenna revealed how Mr. Adamu had pursued her relentlessly until she finally gave in to his demands out of fear for her grades. She found out she was pregnant a few months later and had to drop out of school. The shame was too much for her family to bear. With this new information, Principal Williams had no choice but to fire Mr. Adamu. He was additionally charged with sexual assault of a minor and had his teaching credentials permanently revoked. At his sentencing, the judge took into account the numerous student victims and Nnenna's pregnancy. Mr. Adamu was given 15 years in prison for his deplorable crimes. Kemi, Funmi, Adesua, Nnenna and Nnenna all testified against him, their brave actions finally bringing his long reign of sexual misconduct to an end. While the trauma they endured could never be undone, they took solace in the fact that no other students would ever suffer at Mr. Adamu's hands again. The story sent shockwaves through not just their school, but the entire Nigerian education system. It sparked a serious re-evaluation of policies regarding instructor misconduct and proper ways for students to report abuse. New prevention training programs were implemented across the country. For the girls at the center of it all, life eventually began returning to normal. They were hailed as heroes by their classmates for the courageous actions in bringing down a sexual predator. Their powerful example taught everyone at Chrisland Secondary School an invaluable lesson: that silence is what allows injustice to keep happening, but finding strength in numbers makes all the difference. Whenever Kemi, Funmi, Adesua and Nnenna gathered together, they looked at Nnenna's baby daughter and felt a profound sense of pride. Their harrowing ordeal was finally over, and they could go forward empowered, survivors instead of victims.